Welcome to the penultimate episode of Winning Places. This week sees the Senior Bs talking to members of the ODA, LDA and Hackney 2012 team about the legacy of the Olympic Park in London. Charlie Foreman explains that the ODA have been employed to build the stage for the Olympics. The LDA own the land. Maria Kaiser then gives a presentation about the master planning for the park.
But we want something that is livable, it's not all fenced off.
But the part of the presentation that really captures the attention of the group is the LDA's Rebecca Haves outlining the legacy plans for the park.
I'm spending my entire life on, so I'm incredibly enthusiastic and passionate about what the Games can bring to this part of London.
You're putting all these homes and all jobs and everything. What about hospital facilities?
We are talking about polyclinics going into the site, and we're working with the local PCTs, so we're going to have to expect an increase in numbers, not only because of the development that's happening here, but all of the stuff. I mean, I'm sure in your local neighbourhoods, if there's a spare patch of land at the moment, you'll be seeing homes. Yeah.
It's all very well building social housing, but you need to stop people buying them, and then you'd have plenty of social housing. That's what you need.
No, it's a really good point. And we're looking at how you can do social housing in a different way. There's a lot of work going on something called community land trusts.
Two more questions, hypothetical questions for your feedback.
Yes.
The schools that you're building, including the one that might be on the Olympic site, are they going to be for local, non-fee paying children?
I think the point you raised about the size of the rooms in these places can't be emphasised enough. They're not big enough. They've got their 2 rooms and that, but there's not enough room for them to swing a cat round, as you said.
And one of the things we're really keen to set in is space standards for rooms that are higher than what you see in the average development. Everything that's being built is being built new. There should be nothing that is really inaccessible for anyone. There will be no buildings that have only got steps to go up to, and there will always be, disability access and access requirements. One of the things that some of the disability groups have been working with is saying, don't just make it average, make it fantastic.
You've made no mention whatsoever on the seniors and sheltered accommodation. You say it's all family orientated, it's all youngsters orientated, but what about sort of us? So we're coming to an age that maybe we want to free up a home that we live in, it's not adequate, for purpose. And we'd love to maybe sort of live in a sheltered accommodation in one of these sort of desirable sites that you paint such a wonderful picture of.
There is sheltered accommodation that we're proposing in the mix. It hasn't been defined exactly how much of that will be at the moment, but I will take that back in terms of feeding it back in that needs to be integrated, and we need to look at the demand for that kind of thing as well. So.
There was another question I wanted to ask. Sorry, Richard. The capacity of the primary schools, when you build the secondary schools, or the higher education as you call it, will that capacity of those fill that? Because at the moment there's a major problem. You've got tons and tons of primary schools, but you haven't got the capacity at the secondary school to take them.
That's something necessarily we can't directly impact. That's an embedded industry. What we are looking at are creating the highest quality education facilities we can.
That's it for this episode, but do tune in next week for an action-packed session when the Senior Bs will be visiting the Museum of London's Archaeological Treasure Trove.